Ah, nuts. There. Sorry. Thank you, Odari, for catching me on that one. I didn't have any audio because I don't want you guys to hear me clicking when I set up. And then I forget it's there. You think after 4 years of pandemic, I would have figured out the Zoom. So yes, happy solar eclipse day to you as well. I hope everybody had a good time and got to see it if they wanted to. I was at work, but we all kind of gathered by the window to look at it, but not look at it. And I know some people went outside, but I did not get my hands on any glasses. So I wanted to protect my eyeballs. Otherwise, these lives would be much less exciting. Okay, so I missed you all last week. I hope we had a really good Easter weekend. I was glad to see that a lot of people were streaming. Even a lot of people were on this weekend. Odari is back. Yay! So I got to check those all out this weekend and last weekend, which was super fun. So lately I've been working on a few different things. I've been working on market prep, all the product that's sitting right there, working on that, and doing like the last little details on the ones that I want to post and get ready for the shop update in my market. The final details, they take longer than the initial development, I'm pretty sure. So I've been like fine tuning them, and I thought of doing that on the live today, putting last little details, but it's such like minor stuff, and I'd be skipping from piece to piece to piece, which I'm not sure would be as much fun, especially when it's this little final tweaking stuff. So I thought I'd give my brain a little bit of a mental break, and I'm switching over to a new project. This one's just for me. This is one I've been wanting to work on for a very long time. So this is going to be one in fresco that we're going to do, and I'm going to I just want to make sure that's streaming right. Okay. So we're going to work on this in fresco, but this is a just for me project for right now. So I've had this on my list for about a bajillion million years since before I even moved here. So I've been very excited to work on this one. So it's actually a tarot deck. Because why would I start with something small? There's an absurd number of cards in a tarot deck. So this is a huge big thing. It was initially inspired by a book that I love and I've mentioned here many, many times. It's called The Night Circus. And if you've read it, you'll know that it's perfect for something like this. But then I was worried about like being too much fan art, and I didn't want to step on her toes because I respect the author so much, but I couldn't get the idea out of my head. And then it got really big and it got overwhelming, and all the cards are ready. I have them all like planned out and they're all there, and ready to go. And then I got stuck on style, and then I got stuck on all kinds of things. So I just kind of, a lot of things got putting myself in my way, really. So what I'm going to do is just going to move forward. Like I said, it's going to be, I've shifted it to be a little bit more Night Circus inspired rather than kind of taking on the actual characters as much. I'm using kind of the words and everything, but I'm just not looking to step on Erin's toes at all. Her name's also Erin. Erin Morgenstern, and I would recommend any book she writes. She has 2 right now. So that's the plan here. So I have an initial kind of border rough idea, but what I really want to do is get a couple of these illustrations done and then put them into the border and then finalize that, so that this will be the main art on the card, but there'll be surrounding bits and pieces. It occurred to me, like, as I said, I was stuck on style, and I wasn't sure how to go forward, and I was like, I'm going to do tests, I'm going to do all this different stuff, and I just kind of got like stuck, and I was like, oh, it's going to be too much work, I don't want to do it wrong, I don't want to get halfway through the project and then change what I want to do, and it just like, it's one of those, you just got to get going on it. And it occurred to me an absurdly late in this project, that like into this brain spiral, that I should use some of the stained glass inspired work that I've been doing already. Weird. So I got some inspiration. I did some AI kind of Googling search, and just to see what some stuff would go through. And I literally, like, out loud in my apartment by myself asked myself, are you serious? You did not even consider this style as something that would apply to this? So it was a pile of silliness. So I'm just going to get going. So this card here is going to be, oh wait, hang on, I have some people in Behance. Hi, Nathan. You can still see the eclipse there? That's crazy. We had it for 3 minutes. Maybe. And I don't think it wasn't total here in London. It was up in Niagara, it was total. And apparently millions of people were there. I'm not sorry I missed that. Okay. That's amazing. Okay, so I did some sketches last night. I used some AI support, and I'm going to show you, I've talked about this a few times, but I'm going to show you what that means in that, like, the source material that I'm using and how I am using it as reference. I don't want people to think that I'm thieving art or anything like that. Oh, that's more line art. Okay. So you can see here, a few of these are just kind of source material, because I haven't done, I don't draw a lot of animals a lot, like cats and stuff. So I did a few different AIs of like 2 kittens, because that's the point here. There's 2 children in the circus, and they have 2 kittens that they train as part of an act, because their parents have the big cats. So I had this idea in my head. I had read this scene a couple weeks ago. I'm persistently reading this book. But I had seen this scene a little while ago, and I had this picture in my head. The 2 of them, they're at a party, and they're kind of they were gifted these kittens, and they are just kind of hanging out and training them and playing with them, and all that kind of stuff. So I had this kind of scene laid out in my head. So I thought this would be a good card to start with, when I already had an idea of how I wanted it to be laid out. And like I said, I want to do a few of these to try and establish the style and then start tweaking it as we go. But like I said, we just got to get going. I can't keep thinking it in my head and then just never doing it, because like I said, this has been on my list to do for over a decade now. So it's time for sure. Alessandra's here. That's amazing. Oh, it was like an hour where Alessandra was. That's amazing. So I went into AI and I wanted to go get some things. I really wanted the girl kind of curled up on the floor playing with the kittens. It's kind of how it's described, but like that kind of proportion, like life drawing, isn't really my strength. So rather than kind of posing myself and kind of like lying on the floor and kind of trying to get the photo right and the angles and everything, I just did a few AI photos. So there's really just the pose here that we have and the kittens to support it. I also did an export for like the winged back chair, because I wanted a really dramatic chair that her brother's sitting in. So let's just clear these out of here. But I just want to show those to you as an example of how I'm using these AI as a reference to kind of get myself started. Not tracing anything or getting too far. Like I've changed the poses of the kittens and where they're at. So just to kind of use it to help me get a little further, because like I said, I want it to be right when I do it the first time, which doesn't make sense with art. But I wanted it right to be right the first time. So rather than getting stuck and being like, oh, I don't know how to pose him in the chair. Oh, I don't know how to do this. Just moving forward and using that AI has been really helpful to me to just kind of get that pose out rather than looking and Googling and trying to do a photo and then maybe accidentally matching it too close. Like, it's too much. So when I talk about that, the AI, that's how I'm using it. So here's our pose. I do have lots of fun color plans and stuff for this. We're going to go back to the paper patterns. I have a whole big plan for this. So I'm not going to describe the whole tarot deck right now. I'll just kind of do it as we go through. So this card is the 10 of coins, or pentacles, depending on the card deck you use. And we have 2 children playing in a library. So I'm going to get started on the line art now that we're almost done the live stream. They're talking so much. Sorry, guys. So we're going to start with some vector line art to get going. And me just definitely pull this back because we've been doing bookmarks. I think we'll start with, I think that'll be a good place to start. Come on, you. Undo. There we go. Okay, so let's get going. So I think if we do, I'm just trying to figure out how to separate these out. Let's just dive right in here. So the standard tarot size, the one that I'm working to is, sorry, let me get my papers up here, make sure that I'm getting it right for y'all. Sizing, blah, 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 blah. Nope. Where did it go? So the standard size, that's a playing deck, of a tarot deck is 2.75 by 4.75 inches. I am illustrating bigger than that. This is a 6 by 9 illustration, just so that we can get the right level of detail in here. I don't want to go crazy because this is about the size of the card that I'm looking at here. This is about what you're looking at. So I don't want a crazy amount of detail in here, but I also want it to like do the design some justice. So we're just going to start outlining these guys. Get some vector laid out and we'll work through this through many, many, many lives. So I have a rough plan like of how I want this to come out time-wise and everything, but also I understand it's going to be a very large project, so we're just going to feel it out from the beginning here and see where it goes. Hi, Alessandra. Mojo's good. He was just a little off on Saturday. He had a sore belly. He's feeling better now. He just had like a half hour's, it felt like, worth of Zoomies. So he's all better now. And what inspired me to do this? Okay, so just before you came on, I'll go through this again because I've seen a few new numbers coming in as well. This is a project that has been on my I'd like to do this list for over a decade. And many reasons why I stopped. First of all, I started with a tarot deck, which is over 70 cards, in true Erin style fashion. Why not start with the biggest thing ever? And I worried, because this is mainly inspired by one of my favorite books, The Night Circus. I worried about getting too fan art like, or kind of stepping on the author's toes. And I really didn't want to do that. But then I really wanted, like, I was also waiting on style to come to me and all this other kind of stuff. So a lot of things were, I was getting in my own way in more ways than anything else. And then I just decided I was doing some searching or something, and the style occurred to me in what, like, it should have been really obvious, but do it following something similar to the stained glass. So I'm thinking of it as kind of like between the stained glass I was doing last year and a little bit towards, like, not as extreme, but towards like the Iron Man unicorn pieces I did for my niece and nephews recently. So kind of a little bit more of that. So a mix of styles here happening. So once I had that style in my head, I felt like that was the missing piece. And because I've been working on so many market things lately, I just felt it was kind of time to just freshen it up and do something a little different, because I've been putting final touches on my art pieces for the past week, and I think they need a bit of a breather before I kind of put those final touches on them again. So that's why I decided to bring these to the live stream. And these will be just kind of like little bit more casual illustrations that I do. We definitely won't be finishing any of them in single goes, but they'll be kind of fun in between other projects that we have going on. And you guys can help me figure out the style and the build and all that kind of fun stuff. So, and I really was looking forward to, I thought of doing some market stuff this week for the live, just kind of finish them up with everybody, but they needed a small timeout, and I really wanted to get started on this. So that's why. Many reasons. Hello to the person who just joined the stream. I'm so sorry. I do not speak that language, but you are welcome. Thanks for joining in. Okay, so I sketched this idea out last night, and it came together really nicely. I was also really inspired by do the process work by some of DTM's live streams lately. He's been posting a lot of his kind of process and how he goes through his projects and plans them from the beginning, but also posts like all the detail that are in his Behance projects, which made me really want to just go back and beef up my Behance projects with details. So some of these cards I think are going to have a lot of trying to figure out layouts and things, and lots of sketches and testing and all that kind of stuff. And some are going to come a little more natural. This one came a little bit more natural. I had this kind of vision in my head as I was reading this scene in the book a couple weeks ago. So some are going to play the game and some are going to be a bit more of a challenge, but that's okay. It's all part of the learning. Mostly going to be line art today, but we'll see how far we get. What's everybody doing tonight? Odari with the translation. Irina, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the translation, Odari. I want everybody to feel included. Oh, Alessandra's starting something she hasn't done in a while. Is drawing on my iPad. I love it. Trying to working on a comic book. That's exciting. That's another project I'd really like to do, is a comic book. I can't hear anything. I thought I fixed it. Okay. If anybody else can also not hear, please confirm. Which is silly because you can't hear me say that. Oh, Irina's in St. Petersburg. Wow. 2:20. My goodness gracious. That is very early. Thank you for tuning in. Oh yeah, that's the chair. That's why we're doing this. Alessandra's doing a comic book. I would love to do a comic book. I did a small one once for my dad for his birthday, Father's Day, Christmas. I can't recall when I did it, but it was a lot of fun and I wanted to keep working on it, but I was in school when I did it. So it took a lot of things. There's a lot of these ginormous projects I want to do, like a tarot deck is kind of a relatively newer one in comparison to the other ones. I want to do a playing card deck. I'd love to do playing cards. And then a comic book would be so much fun. I'm not feeling too confident for this traditional one to turn digital. I have some in my website already. You've got this, Alessandra. You can do it. Lots of practice. You guys have seen basically all of my digital journey on the live streams. I like opened Fresco, was like, I love this, and immediately started live streaming. It was a struggle to get here. You can do it. Just keep at it. Nathan says, my friend is from St. Petersburg. He told me a lot about the Winter Palace. Interesting. We have people here, Irina from the States. We have people from Ontario. We have people from all over the place. Everybody's from all over. An international stream today, bug. Whoops, let's try that line again. All right. Oh, good. Nathan can hear again. Thank goodness. Another reason why I wanted to pick up this project is I kind of wanted to get back to sinking my teeth into some bigger illustrations. I know it wasn't that long ago that we were doing the sea creatures and the dragon, which are coming, by the way. I have their posts ready to go. They're on their way. They're all finished, and their super posts are coming soon. But I really wanted to sink into some bigger illustrations. Like, I'm enjoying the bookmarks and the gnomes, and working on those. And it's satisfying because they are a quick execution for the illustrations. But I also really want to kind of sink my teeth into a style and work on that. Like Umacorn's live stream, she's doing these ginormous projects, and I'm inspired to kind of work on those. And Odari's streams this weekend, you should, if you haven't seen them, go check them out, because the stuff that the poster he's doing, I saw the sketch, I think you posted it on Instagram, Odari, initially, and I was just like freaking out about it. It was so good, and I'm so excited to see the story come together. So these bigger projects that some people are doing on the streams inspired me to kind of get some bigger things out, and to balance out the smaller things I have. You can draw beautifully. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I love sharing this with everybody. So thank you so much. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. You're gonna fall off, mister. We're sitting on such a big, tall chair. So we are in Adobe Fresco today on the iPad again. It's kind of a consistent theme lately. And I'm just using vector line art because, as I mentioned, we're going to get into some of the stained glass art again. It's something similar, not quite the same, but something similar. Just kind of a different take on it. So I want these nice, crisp, clean lines to help support that, because it'll still really matter what the line art, like the strength of the line art will really help the illustration if the style I'm picturing in my head is the direction we're gonna go here. Oh. Erin has fantastic work. Thank you so much. Erin is talent. Oh my gosh, you guys, blushing over here. Thank you so much. Oh, hi. Kiam, is it? 4:30 in Pakistan. Guys, all over the world. This is fantastic. Oh, my father has confirmed the fact the comic book is called Acute Myocardial Infarction Man, because it was my way of handling the heart attack that he had, and he was given it for Christmas, so as a confirmation there. So I do have the whole story. Actually, I was cleaning out my studio recently. I have the whole story. It's all written and it's there. I just need to put it back on the page. I'll put it on the list. Thank you for confirming those facts, Dad, because I was not 100% sure. All right, so to give you a little background on these characters and critters. Oh, Nathan's going to eat. Thanks for tuning in, Nathan. So give us a little background on this. So like I said, I'm trying to make sure that this is inspired. Oh, thank you so much for tuning in, Irina. I hope you have a great night. Thank you so much for showing up and commenting. So, like I said, I want to make sure that this is inspired. I don't want to be stepping on any toes. I don't want to be offending anybody or anything like that. But these characters here, like, just read The Night Circus. It's fantastic. But these characters are children that are born within a circus. And like I mentioned earlier, their parents do the big cat's tent. So they have tigers and lions. So there's going to be tigers and lions down the road at some point. And at one point, these children's are gifted these kittens so that they can do their own performance out in the circus. And this is all of them training and hanging out as part of a party, just kind of on to their own, doing their own things. So our lovely Poppet inspired character here, she's playing with the cats. She's training them with silver spoons that were at the party. And then her brother, twin brother Widget, is reading all the books. Oops. So they intentionally don't have faces right now. I've got like her hair in her face and the big book in front of his. I want to make sure, like, I don't, I'm not convinced that I could consistently represent these characters on multiple cards. It's possible. But also, again, I just want to keep it that inspired by for now. All right. So it was Eclipse Day. Is anybody else participating in Rex Manning Day? Is that just me? Empire Records? Just me? That should be your Thursday night movie, Odari. I almost watched Thursday night movie. I was all prepared for it. I was ready to go. I was like, Thursday night, I'm going to actually participate. And then I completely forgot. There was something else on, and it was like Friday afternoon. I'm like, no, I missed the movie. Rex Manning Day is, there's a movie called Empire Records, and it's fantastic. It's like a record store run by high school students, and all their dramatics in a day, and it's Rex Manning Day, and that's a very self-involved artist showing up for the day, and all the chaos that ensues around that event. And it's amazing and hilarious, and I would strongly recommend it. And the eclipse, I didn't see it. I was at work, and I did not get my hands on glasses. There was huge lines yesterday in the news, so I'm glad I wasn't out seeking them out. But I experienced the eclipse. A friend of mine actually got a really good picture of it. So I'm glad that I had friends who did those kinds of things. Oh, what's the matter? Why are you so sad, man? Record store run by teachers. That's a place. A record store run by teenagers. It's a place I don't think I'm going to anytime soon. Oh, well, I don't know. Watch the movie and see. There's some fun characters around, that's for sure. Well, lots of drama. I don't even remember how old that movie is. But lots of drama, and it's of its time, that's for sure. Let's just say that. Excuse me, why are you a sad boy? Do you want to say hi? Oh, Dari might put Empire Records on the movie. That would be hilarious. Can you say hi? Everybody was asking about you. Yep. You say big hi? Oh, everybody says hello. You say hello? Don't down? Okay. Thanks for tuning in. You go play. Ooh. Okie dokie, Smokey. Alrighty. Whoops. Spun it around a lot there. How are the neighbors, Moj? He's right now watching the door to make sure that nobody comes in while I'm distracted on the live stream. Thank goodness. Oh, yes, we just had to put our attention to it. Someone came off the elevator. Hey, bud. Come here. Mojo, to me, buddy. Come here. Good boy. You're just saying hello to everybody? They come off that elevator every day. Come here. No, I don't think so. He says hello. Oh, man. So another really cool thing about this project will eventually be, it doesn't come into play a lot here. There's going to be some really fun kind of costumes as well as like period style clothing and dresses and suits and things. And so that would be, like, that's going to be a lot of fun for me because it's kind of set in a few different time periods. So I'm very excited to explore. Ooh, the never-ending story this week. Excellent. I might lose my card here. I'm not certain I've seen it all the way through. I think I've seen the whole movie just in, like, bits and pieces. I must have watched it all the way through at some point. But it's one of those movies, like, I think it took me a long time to actually see like Jaws start to finish. But when I watched it, I knew I had seen the whole movie. That could be a good choice. No, we don't do that. As much as I love that feature, it's not for now. Alrighty. Same on Jaws Zadari, yeah. It's funny, some of these movies or books or things that you just like assume that you know because you've experienced them so many times. Like, wait a minute, I actually have not ever seen this. Oh dear. Doesn't quite look like a shoe. We'll try. It is a pretty weird angle for shoes, so I'll just make it work. So yeah, I'm excited for the costumes and the different kind of patterns, and the paper patterns are going to come into play. It's actually this project that kind of got me started with the paper patterns because I found them when I was in a craft store and it reminded me of this project. And so that's where they kind of ended up in my house. I can't remember the exact moment when I decided to use them for the illustrations. I know I used them to like make cards. Like I did some physical cut and paste of these cards to practice a bit, but I didn't, once I got them digital, then that was a different plan. So yeah, I'm just excited to explore all things. And like the circus, like a circus in general has so much potential. So I'm very excited for that. Alessandra says, I didn't watch Jaws, but I watched Chuck, which is potentially Chucky. I don't know what I was thinking, but had nightmares. Yeah, Chucky's not my jam. Those aren't really kind of like my movies. Not really what I'm here for all the time. There was a TV show of Chucky recently, and it seems like an interesting choice. All right, creating a new layer for this kitchen because I may move it around a little bit. Yeah, it was Chucky. Yeah, that's not really my jam. Scary movies and stuff aren't really my thing. Well, if you got scared with the movie Chucky, why'd you watch the show Chucky? That's so silly. What the heck, man? So I'm really happy with how these kittens turned out because I'm not certain I've ever drawn a cat before. At least not a big fluffy one like this, so I'm very thrilled with how this came out. I was actually sketching this out while you were drawing your cat, Odari, the other day, but there's no Egyptian pharaoh in these ones. They're different kinds of cats. They just live in a circus and do fun tricks. First one was cool, but I'm not a fan of scary movies. Yeah, not my jam. I did a summer class one time. I had to get some credits, and I did a summer course. Oops, what's happening? When I was in university, and I took a film class, and I guess the norm, or at least at my school, was that the professor would select 2 movie genres, and that would be kind of how they would teach the lessons throughout the semester. And mine picked musicals, which is fine, and then horror movies. And which I wasn't super thrilled about because it's not my jam. I don't enjoy them. I don't like to be scared. I don't like the jump scares. I don't like the attempts to freak you out or like the usual tricks and tools. And one of the movies was The Exorcist. I would not recommend. I did not enjoy it. I'm sure it might be good for movie purposes and things, but I can't look past it. I did not enjoy it. I was not a fan. Usually, like, I can look past a movie and be like, okay, I didn't really love that movie, but I liked it for its cinematic whatever. And it's too far. Not my jam. Cool if it's your thing. Definitely not my thing. Don't just leave them be, buddy. Okay? Good boy. I gotta put whiskers on the other one. It's gonna be hard to have like these be fluffy kittens but stained glass at the same time. It's gonna be tricky. I think it's not scary. Like, you know what? I think it's not really so much that it's like it was scary. It's just like a lot of unsettling stuff. Like, there wasn't like the jump scares and everything, and it's not like it just stuff like I'm like I don't want to watch this, and like it plays some of the tricks, and like it's hard to with movies or books or whatever that you've heard so much about, because like I had heard a lot about The Exorcist, and like a lot of the main stuff you see, it's like parodied, like her head spinning and the crab walk and things like that. Like you see it in pop culture. So like some of the stuff I knew, like some of the stuff you can't parody, it shouldn't be on TV. So it's not my favorite. And then yeah, just not my thing. I'd prefer to watch something else. Let's see how flexible someone is. That stuff freaks me out, yeah. I do like Hellraiser, very gothic. It's artsy, I guess. Yeah, some of them like you can be kind of artsy. Like it's really hard. Like I'm not gonna watch anything like The Omen or any of that kind of stuff. It doesn't really interest me. It's just not really a movie I'm gonna go to seek out. But some of them, like there's some like I don't know if they're scary movies or like I like more intense style movies that, yeah, if they're artsy and stuff like that, I'll kind of watch them. It's just so hard to say sometimes. It's got different things. But then recently I read Cujo, the Stephen King book, and I don't know if it's better to know, like I was mentioning how The Exorcist had all these like parodies and stuff, or like it was in pop culture, so you know bits and pieces even if you don't have the full context. There was some stuff I knew about Cujo. I don't know if it made it scarier or not, because it would always, as I was reading, I'd be like, is this when it happens? Is this when it happens? Because you know something's coming. So it might have made it a little bit more intense to read, just because you didn't know what was happening. Or you knew what was going to happen, you just didn't know when it was going to happen. Scary. Like, the cat is so cute, Motor, better not get jealous. I think he'll be okay. He's not really sure what to do with cats. His description said no cats. I don't know if his former home had cats. But he's not sure what to do with the one across the hall. It'll wander the hall sometimes, and it's about the same size and color as Mojo. He has no idea what to do with it. So we just go inside. Stephen King I do like, and yeah, I don't do the Scream movies either. Yeah. Yeah, Stephen King, I've read a few of his books. Can you guys see this okay? Oh, that's just me. Okay. I'm going to brighten it a little bit. I keep turning it down because, like, I'll have my iPad on while I'm watching TV and it's very bright. And then I can't see it. But yeah, Stephen King, I've read some of his books, but I'm getting into some of, like, his, like, classic stuff now. Like, I'm going to read The Shining soon, and then The Stand soon. I'm very excited. They've always been on my list, but my brother's been reading them and my dad's read them, so I was like, I think it's time. It's time. Okay, I'm going to put this spoon on a new layer just in case I want to move it later. Let's try again, shall we? If I watch the Scream movies, you best believe I'm buying extra padlocks for all my doors. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's hard to say with some things, because, like, I know I watched early Walking Dead and enjoyed it, but then I would watch it at night and then have to watch, like, Disney movies before I went to bed. Not so much like they're creepy zombies and stuff like that, but as, like, you know, just hanging out here, like, especially when I was, like, a student, you're, like, living by yourself and you're like, oh my god, zombies are gonna get me. Scary. Misery was a great movie. Stephen King at his best. Misery is on my list as well, actually. I sent a picture of 3 Stephen King books to my brother. It's like, which ones do you want me to start? And it was The Stand, Misery, and The Shining. And he's like, I thought he wasn't answering because he was at work. I was like, that's fine. No rush. I have to finish the book I'm reading right now. And he's like, no, I've been staring at my phone for 10 minutes. I literally don't know what to recommend. They're all so good. So, yeah, they're all on the next list. A lot. Luckily, he has lots of them, so I'm not going to run out of books. Not that I'm in danger of running out of books to read. All right, let's save this. Okay. So let's turn off her pencils. Okay, what have we got? No, not. Okay, now I'm going to put the brother on another layer. Come on. Up. Maybe below. Okay. I'm just wondering, I don't know if I'm at risk of moving him up I just want to make sure. I have the sketch, I guess. I can always add more information in after if I decide to move him, but there was a lot of back and forth moving around yesterday, so I think we're pretty close to where we want to be, if not where we want to be. Okay. Oh dear. Alessandra says my family came to talk to me, and I told them I'm in do not disturb mode. I'm watching Aaron's stream. Come back later. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for watching the stream, but don't cause family strife. Don't cause a problem. Don't let me get in the middle of you and your family. And layers are free. Yes, Odari, I feel like you need to make a shirt about that, because I just want to you always say that the layers are free, and it's true. What is happening? Okay. They're good. Okay, I hope so. No mojo. Leave the neighbors be, please. Hey, Moj. Leave them alone. He's lying on the floor, just barking. I'm angry that you're out there, but not angry enough to get up. Hey! Mojo! Hey! I said no. Stop it. Don't give me a hard time. You be quiet, boy, okay? We're doing live stream now. Enough, cranky pants. Nope. You can sit here with me. That's just fine. No, leave it alone, bud. Don't know why. Oh boy, hand drawing time. You were reading my mind, Alessandra. I drew this out like a kind of like a mitt yesterday. Just kind of placeholder while I was figuring everything out. And then before I was done, I was like, I've got to block these out a little bit at very least, because I'm not going to try and figure these out on the live stream. It'd be so stressful. But I listened to what you guys said about on the live stream on the weekend. They're just so circles and lines, and so I just kind of took it one at a time, and breaking them down that way has always really helped me, because I find hands extremely expressive, so they're really important, just like eyes. So I find I really want to get them right when I do them. It's just I feel like one line can make them look really weird. So I want to make sure that we just go careful. Hodari can do it with his eyes closed now. Yeah. Maybe give us a bit of a heads up when you do a live stream about how to do hands, Hodari. I'm going to get my notebook ready. My comic book, the character has no hands for now. Yeah, that's fair. They're a bit of a challenge. I just think they're so expressive and they can tell so much of a story, just the hands alone. And you just want to get them right. Just take a little extra minutes. I don't know what book he's reading right now, so I didn't put a title on it. Probably some sort of magic book or history of some kind. I will do a stream on hands only. I need all hands on deck for that. All right. I can be I can rally. I can be there for it. You're hilarious. Scary hand. Okay. Okie dokie. How are we doing? I might go a little longer just because we're in a good groove here. We'll see. I don't want Alessandra's family to be out in the hall for too long. Yikes. They should join in and say hello. I do find that if I'm doing a scene, that some of these kinds of like on the edge details kind of get lost a little bit. Like I'll just make them a little simpler because I do find like a full scene is intimidating. That's why you see a lot of my art is got no background. So that will be a fun challenge with this project as well, kind of getting me into my groove on that, get me out of my comfort zone there. So that will be something that pushes these details and these finer details of the illustration to help feed the story a little bit. But I also think like there's not gonna be a lot of detail on the chair just because there's so much happening with the kids. But I think some of the detail from the chair will come in from like the shading and how the illustration is colored in. So just trying not to get into my head too much on that kind of stuff. Oh, visit to Canada. Sweet. Yep, would recommend. There's lots of fun here. Alessandra could fit in your suitcase, apparently. Oh, man. So many fun places to see. Man, first trip to Canada for your son. That's amazing. Too bad you didn't have those passports before the eclipse. You could have gone to Niagara with pretty much every other Canadian, apparently. It was crazy. They said there's over 1 million people there, and that people were, they were there already. Like I was listening to the radio on my way into work, and they were already there getting ready at like the parks and beaches and things. And people were renting out parts of their backyard and front yards and driveways and everything for parking because all the parking lots are full. I don't even live near there, and I was getting notifications being like, this parking lot's full, this parking lot's full. It was nuts. So it would have been super fun, but just like lots of chaos. They're probably still trying to leave. Oh, that was car. Car was loud. Slow down, mister. Yeah. The road I live on is very windy. So all the fun cars like to drive on it. Hi, Amir. Thank you for tuning in. Okay. I don't know if that's... Let's try that again. Because I think I need it different from my sketch, but I think we need it to be a little bit more... Oh, I might hang out a little longer, Alessandra. Don't worry. It always bumps me up when someone will... Like, I always love when people tune into the live stream, but I also feel like I'm letting people down when they just tune in, and I'm just like, oh, well, thanks for tuning in. Bye. I just want to see if I can get a little bit more of this liner done. Because then, if we get a lot of the line art done, we can get into fun color testing next week. So that was kind of the big thing with this project. Like I said, I had the idea, I had the concept down, I knew what I wanted to execute. I just got stuck on getting the right style, because if you've worked on a big project before, like something ginormous like this with multiple illustrations or multiple sets of a something, like even I'm sure like if you're knitting or cross-stitching or anything like that, like any kind of crafting thing, your style is going to change a little bit as you go through. And that was my concern, was that I was going to get started and then change my style partway through and then have to go back and backtrack and figure it out. And I like that fear because it's so big. It's like 78, 72 illustrations that I just like didn't want to go back. But as like I've also been able to be a little more consistent with my style lately, doing these live streams and these bigger projects and things. So I think I have a little bit more control over that kind of thing than I did before I got back into my illustrating on a regular basis. So I think it's yuck. Hit the edge on that one. Thank goodness for the fresco straightens feature. So, and I knew like at some point it was just a matter of do the project or scrap it. Like it was going to be a scenario of if you don't do this project, just like get it off your plate and move on to something else. Because I kept coming back to it often enough that I knew that it was one I wanted to explore at least a little bit. If I don't get the whole tarot deck done, fine, but at least this will be kind of like representative of it. And I'm going to learn something from it. So that's the key part here. Now, we're talking about those, like this incomplete stuff. This top left corner is going to be kind of in a shadow a little bit because it's nighttime and they're just in kind of a corner for themselves. So again, the color is going to complete that for me. I'm not just leaving it vague on purpose. Amir's asking the name of this tool. We are in Adobe Fresco for the iPad tonight, and I'm using a vector brush. The sketch lines you see below, those are, using the pencil brush, so it actually imitates pencils, which I love very much, because my iPad was closer than my sketchbook last night when I was working on this, and I could get that sketchy feel without having to go hunt down my sketchbook. I've moved it since so that it's actually closer now, so that's fixed it. But yeah, Adobe Fresco for the iPad. A very dangerous discovery for my studio, and my markers hate it. But I'm sure they'll get over it. Now, I wanted kind of like a bunch of stuff all in the library as well, just kind of hints of different kinds of things, because the character that owns the library is pretty eccentric. Kind of a world traveler, many ideas kind of guy. So I wanted to have lots of different things in the library, but I think we're gonna have lots of opportunity to show his house and stuff, so I won't get too crazy, because again, there's already enough happening with the kiddos and the kittens that we don't need to go too crazy. I just want to make sure that we're getting a good vibe here. Whoops. Sorry guys, try not to spin it too much. I don't remember whose live stream it was. It was not one of my usual streams that I watch, but someone was doing that zoom in, zoom out a lot on the weekend, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna throw up. That's great. So I try not to do that for you guys. I want this to be fun. Oops. I already have enough vertigo. Yeah, no fun. Oops. Let's try again, shall we? I also don't picture the character who owns this library to be particularly neat and tidy with how his library book is put together. That's why we have some of them falling over. Oh my god, I survived the dentist this time and didn't get vertigo episode. Yikes, the dentist is already a little bit too much already. Never mind adding the element of vertigo. I went to the dentist today. Past me booked a dentist appointment at 8 a.m. on a Monday. She was crazy. I don't know what she was thinking. Yikes. This. Oh dear. Oh, a little crazy. Oh dear, let's try again, shall we? Okay. Here's a few more lines. I don't know if I'm running over into somebody else's stream. I don't want to do that. A few more lines here, and then we'll see where we're at. So we're gonna have like a stained glass style, so I may experiment with that this week, maybe. I have to finish some market stuff for sure. I need to get them all off to the printer. So that first. And then if there's time on the weekends, I may run some experiments with some of our stained glass lines. Next week I'll show you what inspired me, like the kind of AI images I had that kind of inspired, that kicked me into picking a style I've already been doing. I'll show those because I don't have them up right now. So I think next week we'll probably tune in to work on this a little bit more, because everything will be off to print, and if all the stars align, everything will be off to print, and I'll be able to guilt-free work on more projects for me. I say projects for me, like the market's not for me. I'm enjoying every illustration that I'm doing there, but this is zero pressure, deadline, etc. So It just feels a little different. Whoops, let's try that again, shall we? Oh my god. I'm not sure if you guys saw my reel the other day. I've been coloring my bookmarks. I keep zooming in, trying to zoom in on them because I drew them in fresco, so. Alrighty, okay, let's save it for sure. Alright. Save it, please. There we go. Okay, so this is our very basic line art. So, like I mentioned, I really want to make sure that this is going to be really solid line art. So we're going to go in, we're going to hierarchy lines. We're going to go in with the stained glass lines. They're not going to be as aggressive as the ones that I did for the dragon or the sea creatures. I want them to be a little softer. Actually, I wonder if I can pull up those to show you kind of what came. That's not my board. Here, let's see. I wonder if I can switch to this. Do I not have one? Why don't I have one for my desktop? Oh. I know I'm turning off and on, guys. I know. Huh. Oh, it's because it's supposed to be Illustrator. That's why. Oh, okay. Hang on. There's a long list and it's not coherent. Hang on. This one. Aha! Okay. So hopefully, let me just do a quick check here. Dee's here. Hi, Dee. There it is. Okay. So you can see it. Okay. So this is what kind of came out of AI. I forget what I Googled for this. I was like circus, stained glass, something, because I was just trying to like pump some ideas out and trying to get some just some inspiration because I was feeling a little stuck and this kept coming to me. I was reading The Night Circus again. So this is kind of what I'm looking at. Not particularly like the faces are a little creepy, but I want to be doing this kind of stained glass style. So you can see it's not the like the aggressive kind of tiny spaces and stuff like that that we did for the dragon and things, and it won't be individually shaded. I think the way like it'll be bigger chunks that are shaded. So it's just gonna be a different approach, but still the stained glass that I want to do because I saw these, like these are AI generated. These were on Firefly. And really kind of sparked, like I said, out loud was like, are you serious? You didn't think of doing stained glass for yourself? Why did you not think of doing that? Okay, let's switch back here. There we go. Oh, we have Carolina from Chile. Oh my gosh. I've been to Chile. It was amazing. I want to go back there. 1 a.m. We should be sleeping. Finally get to sit down and draw at 1 a.m. The memories. Oh man, but like I've been feeling so inspired lately that I feel the same way. I kind of want to go to bed and like draw some more before I go to bed. Just so many ideas. Okay, so I think we're in pretty good shape here. Unfortunately, you're sitting down and drawing D, and I'm kind of packing up to go. But this is the start of my first card in a potential tarot deck, so I'm very excited. We won't do these every week because I think you might get tired of them eventually, but I think this is going to be a fun study for the next little while to explore some fun styles and kind of combine some styles that I've been working on. So yeah, so the next step, whether I do it on the live or before the live, will depend on print files. And we're going to be hierarchy lines and then trying to implement that stained glass style that I have over there, that I found through AI, just kind of put my style into it and see, what we can replicate. And then I'll explain a lot of my color choices and all that other kind of stuff for the different suits as we go through. I've already talked a lot about the tarot deck today, so there's lots to say. I'm very excited about it, and I hope it comes together. Like I said, if only a few cards to come together, it's at least an exploration or a study in how the cards can come together. So it'll just be fun, and these will be fun illustrations I can work on for a little bit longer than a few hours. But I think that's it for tonight. I hope that Dee says it's looking very cool. Thank you so much. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. Keep an eye out for live streams. I'm not sure that Odari has nailed down his schedule yet, but usually towards the weekend, Friday, Saturday, etc. Definitely check out his live stream. Check out what he's working on right now. It's fantastic. Alessandra's usually on the weekends. So make sure that you check out her live streams. She's always doing some fun colors and all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, you gotta wash those dishes, Alessandra. You gotta do it. And then, I don't know, Dee, do you stream? Have I missed your streams? I know Umacorn's on the weekends as well. She's not usually on here because our times are very different. So I try to catch her early in the morning. Saturday for sure for Odari, so definitely check him in the morning. And follow the different streams to see what's going on, because everybody's got some really fun stuff and it's been really inspiring. Like, that's kind of kickstarted some of this project and a few other things. It's just been crazy around here. I can't draw fast enough, that's for sure. So Dee does not stream, so I haven't missed anything. Phew. Although I would like to see a stream, but do what's comfortable for you. Thank goodness. I don't want to be missing anybody's streams. There's some people from all over, as we've seen tonight, so it's kind of hard to catch some of the times that they stream for sure. But I think that's it. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. We'll be back on doing this illustration again next week, I think. We'll be getting into fun color and shading and all that kind of fun stuff. So don't miss out. It'll be the same time, same channel for everything. And like I said, check out all the different streams in between, because there's some really fun stuff out there. Have a great week. Happy Eclipse Day, everybody. And I'll catch you next Monday.